Hey, so, do you guys remember that little thing called the COVID pandemic? I mean, I know I do. It ruined millions of people's lives and created so many unnecessary situations throughout the entire world that some could argue it caused irreversible damage to society as we know it. In Smash Bros, of course. Who cares about people dying? I mean, really think about it. In the past, there has never been a global event of this degree that has directly affected Smash Bros in such a massive way. And not only forced people to play in a way that was, well, less than subpar if you will, but it also changed the community as a whole in a near permanent way. And I want to dive a little deeper into how exactly everything changed. But first, I have to give a little history lesson. I know, I'm sorry, but my point will make way more sense if I do, so pay attention. Before the pandemic was even heard of, Smash Bros as a whole was mainly considered an offline game. And while there was the introduction of online tournaments at major events when Smash Ultimate had released, it was the less preferred option when it came to competitive fairness, to say the least. Sure, online tournaments had the advantage of making it more accessible for players who wanted to compete internationally, but let's be honest, is it really worth it to play through all of this? Yeah, these guys didn't think so either. Plus, physically going to a Smash tournament was way more special and captured the tournament experience a lot better than just hopping in a battle arena with someone across the country without a LAN adapter. So online tournaments weren't really a popular thing during this time period, which I like to refer to as the golden years of competitive Smash Bros. However, this time period can go by many other names, such as the peaceful period, the emancipation era, or literally anything before Fighters Pass 2. Because, let's be honest, everything started going downhill when this DLC released, but I'll talk more on that in a little bit. But now we get into the pandemic era of Smash Bros, and it's pretty obvious to say that major changes had occurred. Not only were online tournaments forced into the competitive scene of Smash Bros, but many largely anticipated in-person tournaments were either postponed for multiple months or completely cancelled because of COVID. Some of the incredibly popular tournaments you might recognize that were affected by this include Collision 2020, Pound 2020, Riptide, and even the massive big boy tournament that is Genesis 8, which is only the most important tournament of the year, but it's fine, it's whatever I guess. This combined with other negative factors such as Nintendo's less than stellar online system and just the absolute lack of support from Nintendo themselves to have anything to do with the competitive scene made the COVID era of Smash Bros really the worst era of Smash Bros to date. I'm not sure why Nintendo completely despises its competitive scene, even to the point of canceling its own events, but that's a video for another day. But you know what, I could forgive all of that. I could forgive the fact that Nintendo's online sucks, I could forgive the fact they hate their own player base, I could even forgive the fact that they sell controllers more expensive than my parents' childcare support, but there's a clear line the Nintendo crossed that just can't be forgiven, and that is the release of Fighters Pass 2. The beginning of Fighters Pass 2 was released on June 29th, 2020, bringing with it the new fighter Min Min, and consequently all the other cancerous tumors with her in the future, symbolizing the doomed fate of Smash Bros all in one fell swoop. Of course, we got beloved characters that so many people asked for, such as Kazuya Mishima from Tekken 7, and oh, another Xenoblade Chronicles character, but it's like two of them, but not really. Look, all jokes aside, this DLC pack had something that Fighters Pass 1 could never even hope to achieve, and that was just the sheer amount of pure shock factor we got when watching these trailers, specifically for Sephiroth, Steve, and Sora. Look bro, Mario died in this trailer. Mario died, kind of. And Minecraft Steve, dude. Minecraft Steve! I remember looking at this DM from my friend and just straight up not believing him. It was that insane. Do you remember anything from the Terry or Byleth trailers? No, you don't. These trailers were phenomenal and are arguably the best in all of Smash Bros. Reveal trailer history. However, that is where all of my praise ends with this DLC release. Many would argue that once Fighters Pass 2 arrived in Smash Bros, it tanked the competitive scene in a really massive way, not just affecting the top players who actively play the game and give Smash Bros all its competitive value, but for everyone watching in the sidelines. Like, what is this? This is supposed to be the most hyped tournament of the year, and all I see are people camping harder than World War I soldiers in the trenches. There's also players such as Acola, who started seeing massive results after emerging from the slimy depths that is the online era, because they picked up a character that a lot of people said was broken and not fun to play against. And look, I would make a comment on how these kinds of players rose really fast from the online scene just because they were using characters that were carrying them, but I don't want to get canceled just yet. I only have like 27 videos on my channel. I want to at least get monetized before I inevitably get sent down the pedophile route that every Smash channel is cursed by. Thankfully, the online era of Smash Bros is pretty much all behind us now, and we can go back to looking forward to in-person tournaments and just how cool they really are. Honestly, I'm so glad to have this new time of Smash where, even though we do have the dreaded influence of characters like Min Min, Kazuya, and Steve, we still have the older, and cooler, era of Smash Bros here in the meta. We've been in this new era of Smash Bros for a little while now, and that's kinda on me, guys. Sorry about that, I swear I'm not dead. But I'm genuinely excited to see how much the meta will keep evolving in the future, mostly because Steve is kinda dead in the water, but also because it looks like we're seeing less and less, dare I say, cringe sets in grand finals. Like, what the heck is Incineroar doing here, and why is he absolutely destroying everybody? It's awesome, and I hope to see more of that in the future. Until one day Leo picks up someone like Robin and we're just all screwed.